All right, welcome back, everybody. Got a really special video for you today. Today we're going to be meeting and talking with Marcos Cifuentes, and the winner of the Chill Series 3 tournament. He ran a wonderful Welder Box deck, something that we hadn't seen a lot of in previous events. He placed number one, beating out Ricardo Celebroni in the championship, playing a Luke Metal deck. I believe just had a really great run through the bracket. So we're going to just be interviewing him a little bit today about sort of his experience with the game, his past events, his past placements, his deck list, his run through bracket, and then once the interview's done, we're going to be just going in and playing some games and sort of giving you guys sort of a feel for this deck that he ran in the tournament. So, what's going on, Marco? How you doing?
Pretty good, mate. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
All right, awesome. So let's get right into it, man. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing the game?
Well, I've been playing the game for a lot of time, like over half of my life. I am almost 20 years old and I've been playing since I was like 8, I think.
Awesome.
Like around Diamond and Pearl came out, maybe a little bit later. But it was in that era, in Diamond and Pearl era.
Cool. Super cool. So when did you first get into sort of playing competitively with the trading card game? Like when was your first sort of tournament, and when was your first sort of like big win that you got?
Well, competitive, I started later than I started playing, like I think 2013, 2014, maybe it.
Mm-hmm.
I always went to nationals every year with my dad, that also plays Pokemon.
Awesome.
So we will go to that event every year. Like I was a senior at the time, a junior even in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
So I got a second place in one as a senior. And then in my last senior year, that was I think 2016, I got a win in the nationals. But in that year, we were only two seniors playing, so we had to play mixing with masters. And in the overall bracket, I see it like third. I
Awesome.
had like a 7-1 record or a 6-1 I don't remember.
That's super cool, man. That's awesome. So, I know since this pandemic has hit everybody recently, I'm not sure where you're at right now if you've been able to go to any events in person, but I know that you've been playing in a lot of events, in a lot of these online tournament events on ptcgo. So, have you, I know you won this last series, the Chill Series 3 here, but is there any other tournament that you placed well at recently for online?
Well, now in online, in these last 2 weeks, I have made top 4 at the Sunday Open, top 4 at Atlas Mini 3, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
top 4 in Shield Series 2.
That's right.
I made finals at Pokégear Infinity Tournament. I have a couple top 16 in Hexter and other tournaments, and two top 8s in Atlas. In Atlas Mini 4 and Mini 5, I made top 8.
Awesome. That's super cool, man. And of course, the win here at Chill Series 3.
Yeah, and of course the win.
So you've been killing it, man. That's awesome. That's super cool. And I mean, I got a chance to watch, I think, two or three of your games. I mean, two or three of your sets there, um, throughout the tournament. And, this deck that you're running, was this the first tournament that you ran this sort of Welder Box, variety deck here? Or,
This
have you,
was the third time.
was the third time?
Yeah, so initially I ran it at Hexter, I think last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I played a list pretty similar. Instead of Pokégears, I was playing with a Jirachi engine and Mewtwo.
Oh,
So
okay.
obviously scoop up nets, but it was a lot more clunky.
Right.
And then at last Hexer, also this Monday, I played a pretty close list to this, but I didn't. I played for Turbo Patch that absolutely suck. Like in that whole day, I think I flipped one or two heads maybe
Wow.
between all my games.
Crazy.
So I took out the turbo patches and added more consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a pretty nice decision.
For sure. I know when I tried to rebuild this deck and play a little bit after I saw you win the tournament, did try it out with turbo patches. They kind of seemed like a good idea at first, but I ended up sort of reverting back to your deck. Mainly what your deck list looks like here, because I think it's got a lot of upside to it and a lot of consistency. So, it's a deck list that I really, really like watching and I really like playing. But since the tournament, since you've won the Chill Series 3, have you made any changes to this deck list yet?
Not yet, but I'm thinking on adding a tool scrapper, mainly for Decigun, so I can take out the Parasol,
Right, for sure.
and then I can discard the energies from Tostagun with Steam Crash.
Yep.
But apart from that, everything else is, I think, almost as it should be. I'm
Yeah.
still looking at more Pokemon. Maybe if I meet one that could be better, but for the moment, for the time being, it seems pretty fine.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I know I was also thinking about adding Tool Scrapper. I played a few games with the champion of the Chill Series 1, AJ Bradley, Quaggy J, as you know him here in the Discord. I was playing a few games
Okay.
with him last night with this deck. He was playing his Senate Scorch VMAX deck, his Greens Senate Scorch deck, and of course, like the Milotic in this deck, the two Milotics are extremely useful going against Senate Scorch. But what he was doing was he was running a Big Charm and a an Air Balloon at the same time in both both of those in his deck. Kind of knowing that Milotic, is able to get the one shot,
Yeah.
but if he has those items on, then it isn't, right. So, I think that if people really start to tech for this deck specifically and for Milotic specifically in those matchups, Tool Scrapper can also be really good. So
Yeah, Tool Scrapper could be really good. I think it's a card that must be in the deck list. And the other card that I also want to add is a second stamp,
mhm.
because most of the time I use discarded turn one with the Dedenne, but it's actually pretty important late game.
Right, yeah, for sure.
But I can't seem to find a space.
I know it's difficult with this deck specifically, right? It's like you really want to keep all the cards that you have, and
Yeah, like you don't want to take out trainers because they are there for consistency, and you don't want to take out Pokemon because every Pokemon serves a good use in a different matchup.
exactly right. You know what I mean? Whatever Pokemon that you take out or put in, it's gonna affect your matchups potentially. Depending
Yeah.
on what you're going against. So I understand that completely, man. I know exactly what you mean. So, um, let me ask you this. So, like, how did this deck list come to be? Was this sort of an original thing for you? Did you kind of make it with? I know your brother. Is it your brother that plays in the tournaments as well, or
Yeah,
is
my
it?
brother also play. My brother and my dad also
Yep.
plays in the tournaments.
Yep. So, sort of, was it a group effort of all you guys to build this deck list, or did this come straight from the mind of Marcos Cifuentes?
So the original idea, I was a day sitting in building a deck, and I just got the idea crossed my mind, and I started putting Pokemon into a deck and Welder, and that was like the first list. And then my dad actually helped me a lot with the list.
Hmm.
He also built a list of his own, and then we kind of mixed both together, and what came resulting was the list that I played on Monday on Hexter with turbo patches.
Right. Okay.
And then after playing in Hexter, I took out the turbo patches, and this is the list that we ended up with. But it was mostly the effort of both of us, and my brother obviously helped me with testing.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, you can tell that there was a lot of thought put into it, but it's super cool. I mean, a lot of times in Pokemon, there's a lot of net decking. There's a sort of a lot of sharing and posting of their decks.
Yeah,
So you don't see a lot of original lists like this, and you certainly don't see a lot of them winning tournaments. So it was super cool to see your run and see you get first place with this deck. And I think also that it's 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 funny, right? Because right now, when you look at the format, there's so many. It's kind of dominated by these sort of set archetypes, things like Eternatus VMAX, like ADP,
yeah,
like Luke Metal, like Scorch. It's cool that we have something that kind of takes a little bit from everything, and kind of breaks that mold, you know? So,
yeah. No, but like I don't like net decking. Like
mhm,
here at least between me, my brother, and my dad, we never net deck. Like only to see like what is being played, but we never play list that in internet.
right. Hmm.
Like even IRL before like this whole pandemic hit, you will never see me at a regional or at a special event with a deck that everyone else will use.
Right. And I think it's more fun that way, you know?
Yeah,
And
way more fun.
it's also more impressive when you win tournaments like the way you did. So, definitely give kudos to you, man, for doing that. It's super
Thank
cool.
you, thank you.
Yes, super cool. Let me talk about a little bit about your run in the Chill series. So, what I know you had, was it like a 7-1-1 record for the event, or no, it was like 9 at the end of it. It was like 9-1-1, right?
At the end of it, it was 8-1
Oh, really?
because
Okay.
there were no 7 rounds, so it was 9-1.
9-1, right? Yep. So, I mean, did you? I know you play, and I know also in the tournament in your top 4 match and your championship match, you played against 2 Lucario Melmetals, which were the
Yeah,
two Luke medals who made it to the top 8. So was it what did you feel comfortable playing that matchup, or did you sort of were a little
yeah,
bit
like that match is honestly it's pretty easy if you set up correctly.
right?
Like even if they attach the wingware into the zacian and stuff, you can still OHKO one zacian with Heatran-GX,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's pretty difficult for them to power up a zacian with 3 metal energies and another wingware. So you are probably going to get a KO with Victini like pretty easy. And Dubwool V is actually insane.
Yep, that was one
Like
thing that I noticed.
the fact that it doesn't die from a Brave Blade is way too good. And since they don't play 6-1, it just sits there and it's 2 hits.
Yeah, I mean, and it's pretty much foolproof. You know what I mean? So I think double was super important in those Lucario Melmetal games late in bracket, and I think that was
Yeah,
a really big
definitely.
reason. I also saw Torkoal V putting in a lot of work too. I mean, that attack, um, the second attack where you can do just 120 but you discard 2 energy can be really useful when your opponent's playing those weakness
Yeah,
guard energies.
pretty good. Pretty
Um,
good. Torkoal is pretty good against that match, and in ADP is also kind of fundamental.
right, right. I did notice though. So you were in this list. You're not running an Oranguru. Did you maybe think about running an Oranguru to pair sort of with that Torkoal's first attack, where you get to discard that top card from your deck?
Originally, I had an Oranguru in the list.
Hmm.
I ended up cutting it because I almost never charge Torkoal. Like the matches in which Torkoal is charged up are pretty specific. Like in against that metal, if I didn't start the Torkoal, I wouldn't have attached to it.
Right, it's true. Makes a lot of sense. Uh, so
But Oranguru could win is also pretty good since I can save maybe a Welder or a Fire Crystal before a Dedenne. But the big problem that I ended up having is the space on the bench.
mm-hmm.
Since
Right,
I normally bench at least between Crobat and the end at least 3, I have to leave a space open in case I want to Eldegoss. And then you have the attacker and you have only one free space that is normally a second attacker.
right.
So pretty difficult to, apart from all of that, have another Anguru in the bench.
True. That was one thing that I was thinking too. I was like, well, maybe it could be useful, but at the same time, it's just another bench space. And when you're playing the Dedennes
Yeah,
and the Crobats,
another bench sitter.
right? And those Dedennes and Crobats are always going to be really useful. When you're primarily running Welder and Boss's Orders as your supporters, and you don't see a lot of Marnie and research in this deck, so you're going to be relying on that draw support
Yeah,
from those
pretty
Pokemon.
much you rely on those Pokemon to set up.
Right.
Like even before the Welder Box that made top 4 at events and won an internationals, that list also played I think 3 Dedenne in the time
Mm-hmm.
because there was no Crobat. The deck relies a lot on drawing with Pokemon, so you can manage to hit Welder after boss order and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Was there any Marco? Was there any deck list that you ran into specifically? Any specific archetypes during the Swiss rounds or in bracket? Anytime during the tournament that you thought was sort of a bad matchup against this deck, or was there a specific deck that you ran against that you sort of wish that you hadn't had to play that deck?
Well, there is one match that I think is pretty difficult with this deck. That is Inteleon.
Mm.
Like even with the Vikavolt, it is still a pretty difficult match. If they know how to play it, they can, after you attach the first Aurora into Vikavolt, they can boss order it up and use the Hydro Snipe to put it back into your hand, and then you can outcount them.
Right.
Like that match is pretty difficult. I ended up winning it because my opponent had only 1 energy remaining and no scoop up nets, and I boss order a Frostmoth and I deck out.
Very interesting. So you did end up playing Inteleon in the tournament. which is interesting because I think there was only one or two in the entire event.
Yeah, I think there were two in the entire tournament, and I played one of them.
Still got the win though.
Yeah, but it's a pretty difficult matchup.
Right.
Pretty difficult matchup.
Well, I think that says a lot, not only about your deck list, but just about you as a player. So, pretty cool. So I
Yeah.
know you played Loop Metal twice. Was there any other deck list that you
I
played
played
multiples
two
of?
more in rounds.
You
I
played.
played 4 Look Metal in the entire tournament.
Wow.
I think they were all different people.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people playing Luke Metal. I think there was like 8 or
I
9.
think it was like the second most played deck yesterday, Wednesday.
Yeah, it was.
Apart from that, I think I played against two Eternatus.
Mhm.
One of them was my loss because I brick horribly.
That happens. It does happen.
And then, what were the other two matchups?
So Inteleon.
And well, the Inteleon, yes.
Yep.
I don't even remember why I played in topic. Let me say, I think I have them written down because someone did ask me about my matchups.
I mean, it's not super important, but 2 Eternatus, 3 Luke Metal, 1 Inteleon.
To have the reference.
What was that?
Oh, I played against a heroic Decidueye.
Oh, yes. There was one in the tournament too.
Yeah, I hit it. And I think that game lasted 2 turns. He started heroic, I chose to go second. I KO it turn 1 with Heatran, and he scoops.
Oh, no. I mean...
Yeah, but in paper that match seems horrible for him because since I have the 2 Volcanions, I can KO Decidueye like nothing.
Exactly.
That fire weakness is pretty bad for Decidueye.
It's bad in general, man. I think that's a big reason why sort of Rowegg and Rillaboom or any of those other sort of grass deck archetypes are just not really too relevant.
Yeah, with Sentis Scourge being such a big thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you know, but that new metal energy that's coming out in Vivid Voltage gives
it takes
metal
out the weakness.
Yeah, I think they should have given one of those to grass Pokemon.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
I think definitely they need it.
Anything with a fire weakness needs that support, but interesting, man. So you know.
And I can't remember my other match. Even when they asked me about my matchup, I didn't remember that specific match. There must have been maybe a Sentis course. I don't know.
Could have been. I know there was I think there was like 13 or 14 sort of one-off decks in the tournament, so you might have been playing one of those.
Yeah, but I read them. I didn't play against any of them. Not that I remember. Like I will remember if I played against a unique deck.
Right. Interesting. Well, there was only one of these decks, and it went all the way. So
yeah, basically.
It's funny. All right, man. I don't know. I think we covered pretty much everything. Is there anything that any sort of channel or anything that you want to shout out to the viewers here?
I only shout out the community here in Iquique, Chile. Okay. Because we have a pretty good community. Like now in online tournaments we are like 10 people, but we all play together a lot and have a good time always. So shout out to them. And of course my family, my dad and my brother, for always helping me testing and build decks.
Awesome. For sure. For sure, man. Super cool. Well, I think we're about like 18 minutes or so into the interview, so that leaves us some time to play a few games if you're down.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm down to it.
Cool. So we'll get right into it. I have, I believe, a pretty similar version, or if not the exact version of your deck list here in my own game. But if you wanted to play this deck, then I have a few decks that we could sort of see the matchup, whatever you want.
Like whatever you want, I also have other decks built.
It's true. So we'll figure it out. We'll get into these.
Up to you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll get right into it. We'll figure it out, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right. We got the Welder Box, the Championship Welder Box versus ADPZation's catchers.
Okay. This is a pretty 50-50 match. Yeah. I'm going to say that. Like, it is not easy to win as Welder Box. Of course, going second will always help, since you can power up something turn 1 easily.
Most definitely.
But even when going first and even going second is still a difficult match to play out.
See, that's the thing is like ADP kind of likes going first and second, right? So that can be a big advantage.
Yeah, it can be maybe contraproducent. I don't know if that's the correct word to say there.
What was it? What was the word?
Contraproducent? Is that a correct translation or am I making up a word?
I'm not sure. It's honestly a little bit hard for me to know.
Okay. Not knowing those specific words in English,
It's
it's
all
not
good, man.
great.
Don't worry about it. Somebody in the chat will know.
Okay.
Somebody in the video will know.
In the comment section, they will know.
I'm missing an energy on the
MV1
first
Torrent
turn.
Previous turn. Yeah, whiffing energy, that's not good.
Not good. Not good. I do run Viridians in this deck, so
So you should be getting energies.
I should. I thought about just using that Cherish Ball to find Dedenne and just turn one Dedenneing, but I don't know. I figured I'd at least maybe be able to find one energy, but who knows?
Yeah, but you didn't.
But yeah, I guess
That
not.
was bad.
I think in this list I run nine metal, 2 water. I think in this list.
9 metals water, yes. And you even run more energy than regular ADP.
Right, that's like a little bit extra. Yeah.
Considering benching a Heatran before our research, but I think I will bench it.
Man, finding all those fire Pokemon
Yeah, basically.
and getting research.
And now
Oh no.
I think I'm going to go for this.
Nice. Great start.
Yeah, pretty good start. Not really fundamental to use Welder turn 1 if you go second. That flare starter really puts in a lot of work.
For sure.
Okay, boss.
Just hoping you don't hit me with that Torkoal next turn.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you with the Torkoal this turn.
Oh no.
I have switch in hand.
Unreal. Not ideal.
Well, not ideal at all. Like, if you miss energies with ADB, I think
Yeah,
Torkoal just kinda runs through the setup.
most definitely. And you getting
Steam
rid of that
Crush attack.
Viridians. You getting rid of that Viridians was super big too. In
Yeah,
retrospect.
because you can find the second water energy.
Right, I have to.
Okay, you can at least discard that to use Metal Saucer.
Yep.
That is the energy switch. Of the Pokemon catcher. Always scary with those Pokemon catchers.
I'm doing the best I can.
Ouch, that's not a good hand at all.
No. Not at all. But you know what, man? I'm confident.
Yeah,
Even though I shouldn't be, I am. I'm still confident. Let's
it's
see.
fine.
Let's see.
Confidence is the last thing you lose. Okay, Temarni, did you get the water energy?
No.
Ouch.
Not even a spinner.
Oof, that's not good.
Another Tails.
Another Tails, okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Ideal. Okay, this is
Yeah.
not at all what we need.
Okay, now we switch back.
We're abandoning the ADP. We're getting out of there. Didn't work out. That's okay.
Well,
Hopefully you don't have boss.
you gave me the boss with Temarni.
Oh, that's wow. You know what? Sometimes I just don't feel like I'm very lucky.
Nah, I totally understand you. Every time I try to play ADP, I get hands like that.
I do
That's
run
why I
spinners.
kinda desisted playing ADP in tournaments.
Right, it's not exactly. Oh, hey, look, guess what I just drew into?
The water energy.
That's right.
Excellent. Nice. A
Uh,
turn too late.
that's incredible.
So the Pyramid Wisdom. Another Marnie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Well, you give me another pretty good hand. Not gonna lie.
Stop saying that.
Okay, Temawal.
Not ideal. I thought you might have had like a Dedenne in hand or something.
Yeah, the another Crobat, I haven't used any of them. And the Brave Blade. Nice.
Alright, well, at least we did something.
Well, if I whiff the Welder, you may be fine. Ah, no, I can actually go with Victini with 2 energies. Never mind, I didn't say anything.
No.
Now, with that slow start, there is not much you can do against fire stuff in general.
Not at all. Not at all, my man.
Okay, so Welder into Heatran probably. Fire Crystal.
Nice.
And yeah, that will be a knockout into Zacian.
That was an important fire crystal there.
Yeah, pretty good. I had it before the when on Snumarni I drew into the Fire Crystal. And at this point, with 3 Metal Saucers in your discard pile, I don't think there is much you can do about this. So you probably use... I think you probably use Lose.
Yes, I most certainly do. But I'm
The
going to play it out.
Catcher Tails.
I'm going to play it
It's
out.
always nice to play it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's always worth it.
The Energy Spinner.
Pretty sure I have all 4 saucers in the discard pile, so. No,
I think you
one.
have 3. You
Yeah,
have 1 left.
One that is probably prized, though, if I know anything.
Wow. Not good.
Not good at all. Yeah, I don't know if I really have any other options at the moment. Let's see.
Okay, research. Ouch. Should switch.
Oh, yeah. That is going to do it for me. Not ideal.
Yeah, and I have the switch in hand to go with the Heatran GX. Yeah, Heatran GX.
Yeah. I know,
So that will be game.
I was gonna try, like, at some point I was gonna just go for the knockout on the Heatran, but you had the Welder and stuff, and got the knockout with Victini, so...
Yeah, I drew pretty hot in that game.
Yeah.
I think the Marnies that you played actually helped me a lot instead of making it difficult for me. I got pretty lucky in that regards.
They do that sometimes. You want to run it back, though? You want to do another one?
Sure.
Same decks?
Let's go ahead.
See if we can't get a closer game for the video.
Yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, that will be fine.
Cool. One more, and then we should have enough. Footage for the video.
We probably should.
Is that a Mega Charizard coin? I like that.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Thank you. I have a lot of crazy accounts in this account. Like, before the pandemic, I didn't really play online a lot, so when I found my account, I had a lot of old stuff. I have like log computer search, and I don't even know why. Okay, quick ball. Why did you dash into the active station instead of the ADP?
Because I do run energy switches, so next turn I figure I might be able to get 2 attachments. I don't know. Probably wasn't a good idea, but...
I can KO that zacian with Heatran turn 1.
That's true. That is true.
Well, I still have to draw all of the pieces, but... Oh, you drew the energy switch. Excellent. Okay. So, this hand is not looking hot. I may be able to do something though. So, I can quick ball for Heatran.
Nice. Let's see it.
Let me run some calcs real quick. I can go for another quick ball. I will actually search Milotic with this one. And discard it.
Nice.
Search Acrobat, trying to thin my deck out a little bit. Because the other cards in my hand are an Aurora Energy and a Pokémon. The last card is a Welder, so I'm hoping to draw the Giant Hearth. I did.
Nice, nice, nice. Maybe a switch
So
card in
this
hand too?
card- Yeah, I also have the switch in hand.
Incredible. Almost ideal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not the start card, you know, not the...
No, not the Rhyperior start. That's never good. Even against Eternatus is bad to start Rhyperior, but
Right.
that's why we play for switch. So pretty good. And actually starting to hit Heatran in this match, to hit with Heatran in this match is pretty good too, because if you KO a Zacian, you can then use another Welder and attach energy to KO the ADP. Of course,
Right.
you have to get lucky to do that, but if you manage to do it, it's also pretty good.
Nice.
Shumor Catcher Tails. Jesus, is that 5 in a row?
I think so. I think it is.
Wow.
That's
That's
great.
not great.
It's what I deserve, honestly, for running catchers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Okay. So I guess I'll do this then.
Okay, boss. Yeah. That seems fine. Metal Saucer. And Altered Creation. Okay. So that's a good top deck.
At least I got ADP out this game.
Yeah, at least you managed to do Altered Creation.
Right. Maybe I have somewhat of a chance, but it's still unlikely. I mean, I'm pretty much just banking on you not being able to gust and switch into Heatran this turn. But
Yeah.
we know that that's...
I'm going to Welder.
Okay.
Oof, that was not a good draw. I'm going to go for a dead exchange, but the things that I am discarding are not really what I want to discard.
Let's see.
So now I depend on Eldegoss to play a Welder again.
Nice.
But since I'm getting TKO, I think I should still be fine. But I don't know,
so.
it might get a little bit sketchy towards the end.
It could. It really depends on what this next few rounds look like. Yeah. But
what the next turns play out like.
you know, definitely could be worse though. That KO for you that round was really big.
Yeah, because now I pretty much have one turn, and if you don't have double switch, I have 2 turns to get a KO.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that Marnie was huge. I had the quick ball in hand to search Eldegoss.
It's good then. It's good news for me.
I can go for
What do I have even in the deck? I do have some stuff in the deck. Taking 3 prizes
okay,
here, so
play
hopefully I get some important stuff here.
Yeah, maybe you will draw into something. So here I'm just going to promote Victini and hope to draw into a way to search Eldegoss.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
So I'm going to Just go for the attachment. And probably use the Giant Hearth. Discard one card. No, I have to leave the Giant Hearth because I have fire energies in the bottom. So I'm going for the Crobat. And let's see if I draw something. And I drew nothing.
Ooh.
So
What do you have left for supporters in deck? Nothing? Or no, you have...
I still had the research and almost all of my boss orders.
Okay, you should be able to grab.
Yeah, but now I played the research, so I can't welder. So I think you probably got this one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's tough.
You need a switch and a way to retreat, and you have this one. Yeah, that those three energies hitting. No, the welders hitting the discard with that. The Dedenne was not great.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty unlucky because I played that welder and drew into two more welders. You never want to see that.
No, definitely not. Thing is, I still have to double switch out.
You still don't have the switch and an energy. Because you can pay the retreat in the Dedenne or the Crobat and that will be game.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Or even if you don't, no,
Yeah, I
if you have switch and a basic energy, you win.
That is right. Cool. Well, at least I had a little bit of better luck that game. You know, kind of turned out like you said it was. Kind of like a 50-50.
It's a pretty 50-50. I think that in this particular game, if I didn't discard two welders with that Dedenne, I would have probably won because that last Pokégear was almost guaranteed to hit a welder.
Right. Definitely. But at the same time, I think getting
But
that knockout off the ADP was...
no, that was pretty important. If I don't do that, then you can just attach into ADP, boss order a Crobat, and then boss order a Dedenne and win.
Exactly. So
I need to KO every turn if I want to win that match.
yeah, if like that first game when you were able to knock, like when you were able to, like, you know, knock out the ADP or just sort of, you know, take it out of the game, then you definitely had a little bit more time to set up. You know what I mean? Like you weren't really stressed on the prizes. You know, so definitely all about the starting games.
So the one play that I actually like doing versus ADP, there is one play that I like doing versus ADP. I could not do it in this particular game because the conditions never met. But a pretty cool strategy against ADP is using Rhyperior actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you will hit 80 with Drill Run and discard the water energy of an ADP after they use GX, or if they leave it active and just attach into it.
Right.
And then next turn you attach an energy from hand and use Heavy Rock Artillery for shoot N. And unless they play Big Charm, that's a KO.
All right. Definitely not a bad strategy at all. I mean, at that point...
That's generally the game plan.
Yeah, at that point you would just sort of have to... I would have to rely on also getting... Like, I would have to rely on having an extra metal energy onto one of my bench Pokemon. And then probably finding Spinner to find the water energy and then energy switch.
And
that's the only way to...
Yeah.
So... Good games though. I mean, I love.
They were pretty good games.
I love your Welder Box deck.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a great time when I play that deck, and I also have a lot of fun playing against it. So, we're about 40 minutes in, so I think that's probably gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, that's probably going to be great.
Yeah.
I want to give one last quick shout out.
Yep.
To my top 4 opponent, Game Shanwei Trash 3. For that Eldegoss attack for the win in the last game. He just reminded me of that, and yeah, it's worth shouting out. That was a pretty good way to go out in style.
That was pretty funny. It caught me by surprise. I think I was like reading chat on live stream at the time, and then the game was over, and I was like, "What just happened?"
It was pretty good.
It was funny.
Always good to see opponents do that, like being a good sport.
Right, going out with style, you know.
So.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, man.
It was pretty fun.
For sure. Thanks for coming on to the interview. You know, thanks for doing the interview, playing some games, man. The video should be out soon. I got the thumbnail made. Shouldn't be too long to edit it. I don't know if you caught it, but I did re-upload the championship match from the tournament to YouTube.
I saw that. Why was that?
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just because I had it, you know. So in case somebody didn't watch in case somebody didn't watch the live stream, we have it up there.
Nice.
You know, so people can tune in and watch whenever they want if they're interested in watching the matchup. So
Perfect.
It's up there. I think I might just start doing that for the rest of the tournaments, you know, just sort of uploading
I
that
think it's
championship
pretty
game.
good.
Yeah,
A pretty good option.
there's no real reason not to, I guess. You
Yeah,
know?
basically.
But for sure, man. Thanks for coming on. I had a lot of fun, and expect this video to come out soon. And hopefully, we see you in the Chill Series number 4 coming this Wednesday.
I will be there. Thanks for having me again, and I will be looking for the video to come out.
Awesome. Good luck at Hexters tonight, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right. We'll catch you later.
Same. Bye.
See you.